Our town hall, so you probably heard about this over the weekend. The personal information of 500 million Facebook users worldwide found on a website used by hackers. The cyber intelligence firm Hudson Rock says that includes 32 million people here in the United States.
The information that was stolen and posted online includes users' full names, where they live, birthdays, email addresses, phone numbers, and relationship status. A spokesperson for Facebook says this is old data, and this hack was actually reported in 2019. But experts say having it posted on this new hacking website makes it more accessible to criminals.
So what, if anything, can you do to protect yourself and protect your personal information? Let's discuss all of this right now with Professor Alan Katarinsky. He is an information security expert with UB's School of Management. He's also a clinical assistant professor of management science and systems. Thanks so much for coming on and helping us better understand this.
Well, it's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
So for these 32 million Americans included in this data breach, how concerned should they be? And is there anything they can be doing or should be doing right now?
Those are two questions. Let's take them in order. First thing you do is you check and see if you're actually on the list of data that's been breached. So there's a website called www.thenewseachday, it's all one word, .com/Facebook-phone-numbers-US. It'll bring up a page where you type in your phone number and it'll tell you whether or not your phone number is in that group of data. Less concerning, but perhaps equally as important to most people, is you want to see if your email address is in that group of data. And the website for that is called Have I Been Pawned? It's all one word, HAVEIBENPWNED.com. And then you put in your email address there, and it'll give you not only the breaches for this time, for the Facebook breach, but other breaches as well. So it's likely that most people's addresses have been, email addresses have been exposed in breaches within the past few years. They don't always come up, but your data is floating around on the internet without anybody really watching it. And that's the next thing. So what do you do about it? Well, you can subscribe to a service that will see if you are being targeted or if someone is trying to commit fraud or identity theft with you. And I really can't give you the email sites for those because there are several of them, but they all charge money. The ones I was able to give you just now don't charge anything, so I feel free to endorse those. That's one thing you can do. The other thing is check out your credit history, and in doing so, put a credit hold, a credit freeze on there, so no one can buy a house, buy a car with your name without these credit agencies telling you first.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Yeah,
have you done that?
Such great insights on that. And you're right. I mean, there have been so many of these hacks, right? Not just Facebook, but so many of them over the years, and so many people have fallen victim. We were talking about this in the commercial break. You know, Facebook is saying this isn't new, and that's true. This was reported on and happened in 2019. But what is new, though, and what is kind of troubling, is that all this stolen information has now been posted out there for free with easy access to criminals who just have to go on a website. Can you explain how Facebook tried to kind of fix this when it happened back in 2019, and do you think Facebook is trying to downplay this?
Any business that has a breach like this is reluctant, although required by law, to report it, and so of course they reported it. They didn't break the law, but I would try to downplay it too. Words are like bullets. Once out of the gun, they bounce around until they hit something, and this is no different. This information is out there bouncing around and doing all kinds of damage. The chances of someone having their identity stolen increase with every piece of information that you can coordinate. It's not just a name and a phone number. Other bits of information can be aggregated together with information from other websites, from other breaches. And so it can create a very convincing portrait of who you are in an electronic format. Now, how do you stop this from going forward? One of the things you can do is change as many passwords as you can find and use a password manager so that they can't be guessed. The password manager randomly generates a password and you can tell it how long you want it for, but 12 to 15 characters is an absolute minimum. The problem with this is then you're tied to the device that has the password manager on it. The other thing you can do is have two-factor authentication, which is to say you have a password and a login on one site, but they can contact you by email or by text. So UB uses a system for that everyone is forced to do. So we have two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Professor. I have to cut in. We've run out of time. It's such great information. We do the two-factor authentication here, too. It's such a good tool. Professor Alan Katarinsky is an information security expert with UB School of Management. Really great insight. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, and thanks everybody for watching. Remember to keep texting us your questions and your comments.